Hi everyone. Well, it's that time of year. It's time to get my winter salad greens planted. Now, I'm really excited about this because all summer long, it's way too hot to grow those delicious cool weather greens. So now's the time to get them planted. There's less hours of sunlight and I want to get the roots established before it gets too cold, before I don't have enough sun in my garden to grow them nice and strong. Now, if you're a southern gardener, you definitely want to pay attention to this. This is your time. Plant them now. You can grow them all winter long. If you start now, you're going to have fresh salad greens on your table by Thanksgiving. You're going to save money. You don't have to buy any salad greens at the grocery store, and you have the satisfaction of knowing that you're growing your own food. Now, first what I need to do though today is pull out the scallop squash. It's been growing here all summer long, giving me a ton of squash. But it's time to take it out and make some room for some new greens. So let's get to work. Before I pull out my scallop squash, I've got to harvest some. Got some little garden goodies left here. Let's clip off the rest of them. These are so delicious. We even grilled some up last night. It's a nice, cute little one. Kind of sad to see it go, but man, we've gotten a ton of squash off this. A couple hiding over here. Really happy with how this raised bed performed for us this year. We grew a ton of veggies in here. And as you can see, there's still a lot growing. But it's kind of a form of succession planting to pull out what is kind of past its prime and put something else in its spot. So you southern gardeners, if things are still finishing up in your garden, even you northern gardeners, go ahead and pull them out and then just plan on placing some other crop there, just like we are today. So basically here, I'm just cutting at the base of the plant, pulling it out, and opening up a new spot in the garden. It's kind of nice to see the wood of the raised bed again too. Now, a lot of you asked me on the pea video we did a couple of days ago if it was okay to leave the roots in the soil. Now, you can definitely leave the roots in the soil to decompose over time. In this case, I am going to go ahead though and pull out these squash roots just because greens are a little more of a shallower rooted vegetable, and I want to leave plenty of room for the greens to grow, and these roots will come up pretty easily. So it really is your choice. Now these squash leaves are looking really, really healthy, so I'm just going to cart this off to the compost pile. But if your plant is diseased or really pest infested, don't put it in your compost, put it in your green bin to get hauled away with your trash. Okay, now that I got my garden bed cleaned out, I'm going to grab my soil amendments because every time you plant something new, you always want to amend the soil, add some extra nutrients. Those greens, we want to get them growing fast in time for Thanksgiving. So what I'm going to do is just pull away the mulch here. And normally if I was starting over with an entirely empty garden bed, I would top off the soil because you can see how the soil has settled quite a bit since we filled the bed in the spring. So an empty bed I would top off with about 6 inches of fresh compost, fresh raised bed mix. But since we're just planting in this space here, I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to add in a couple inches of compost in this space. And again, this is compost I make right here in my own backyard. Super satisfying to do that. You can see it's not completely fully broken down, but that's okay. It's going to break down here in the garden bed, and this just gives it some nutrients, helps aerate the soil. Then I always love to add in some of the Vermistera worm castings. And this just brings the worms in like crazy. It's a really great soil amendment. So we'll add that to the mix. And then I'm also going to add some granular fertilizer. Now, this is a balanced fertilizer. The NPK, or the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, is about a 4-4-4, which is a good little balance to get my greens growing here. So I'm just going to mix that in. You can see this is super quick. Whoops, got an old coffee filter there from the compost. No big deal. Just going to mix this in super quick. It's very simple. Don't get too concerned about, the exact proportions. You just want to keep things quick and simple so you can get to growing your own food as soon as possible. It's got a nice little spot for our greens here. Now today I'm going to be planting both transplants and seeds. So you southern gardeners, you still have time to get seeds grown. If you live in the north, you may want to grab some transplants. However, when you start from seed, you save a ton of money. A lot of these are specialty greens, which if you buy them in the grocery store at restaurants, they're very expensive. especially if they're organic, which we're definitely growing organic here. So these are giant red mustard greens from my specialty green seed collection. They were started indoors about 3 weeks ago. They're the perfect size to pop here in the garden bed. We're also going to be planting some arugula, which is a super fast growing green. Definitely have some on your table in time for Thanksgiving by planting that. And I'm also going to plant some seeds here in the garden bed. These are from my specialty green seed collection, so we'll definitely make room for both our transplants and our seeds here. So let's get to work. So it's super easy to get transplants started. All I'm going to do here is just kind of dig a couple holes here with my finger so I can drop the transplants in. And the great thing about these mustard greens is that they are frost tolerant. So even if we do get a light frost here in California, they're going to be just fine here in the garden bed. They already have a really nice root system here. And these also grow very, very easily from seed. So let's drop one in the hole, cover it up. And I love planting a variety of greens because they're just so tasty and also makes your salad really, really beautiful. Now, if you're a northern gardener and it's already getting too cold to plant your greens outside, what you can do is start them here in one of these 1 gallon Cali Kim Smart Pots. Then you can grow them indoors on a sunny windowsill or under grow lights. And that way you can have salad right at your fingertips in your kitchen. And we'll be doing an indoor garden series, so you have a lot more info on that. So I'm kind of alternating the red giant mustard and the arugula, just so I have a really nice, pretty variety in my garden bed here. I'm going to plant one more row of these. And you can grab my specialty green seed collection over at CaliKimGardenandHome.com. Running a really good sale this weekend. You get 20% off with the code GROWFOOD. And this is something I've actually never done before. You're also going to get one of these 1 gallon Cali Kim Smart Pots with your order, so that no matter if you live in the south or if you live in the north, you can get some greens started either indoors or outside. And that sale runs until Monday, October 17th. So head over there now and grab your 1 gallon Smart Pots before they run out. One of my favorite specialty greens from my new specialty green seed collection is endive. I grew this last year. It is so pretty. I mean, look how ruffled and beautiful these leaves are. Super tasty to add to your salads for Thanksgiving. This one has bolted in the summer heat and we'll be going to seed soon. I'm going to leave it in for just a little bit longer, but definitely going to get some endive seeds planted along the front of this raised bed, because I can't wait to have some fresh endive in my Thanksgiving salad. So there's 6 varieties in my specialty green seed collection, and I've got some tatsoi in there too, which is one of my favorites. We'll be planting that on another video. So do make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you can hang out with us on all of our videos. Now, endive seeds are kind of an oblong type seed, really easy to plant, you guys. I mean, growing greens is just the easiest thing to do in the wintertime for you southern gardeners. So you just sprinkle them here in the garden bed. You can see there's all kinds of little fun things going on here. The roly-polies. There's a couple of worms in here earlier. Sprinkle the seeds in here. These are very fast growing. And we're going to cover them pretty lightly with soil and just kind of tamp it down here. And it's really fun after seeing things growing here all summer long to get something fresh and new planted. They're going to be sprouting here and growing in no time. Now, for you southern gardeners who are here in California, New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, all those states that have warmer winter climates, this is something you can easily do. So just look for holes in your garden beds as you pull out your warm weather veggies, where you can pop in your salad greens all winter long. And if you do get those days that are over 80 degrees, which we frequently do here in the winter time, you want to maybe pop a piece of shade cloth over your greens so they don't bolt and go to seed before you get to eat them. So all I need to do here is give them a nice little drink and they'll be good to go. Let's go grab our watering can. Gonna give my plants here a nice little dose of the Vermistera Vitality and the Good Dirt plant food, my standard go-tos here for feeding my plants. And I use this stuff, guys, because it works. So all the links will be in the video description, but these will get my plants off to a good start. Gives them a nice healthy dose of nitrogen, the green leafy growth, and of course the beneficial bacteria in the Vermistera really helps stave off the pests and keep the plants healthy. So let's soak them down here. The greens love the nice cool weather. If it rains, it'll be even that much better. And they will take off fast. Last thing here for the salad greens is I'm going to put some mulch back over around the plants here. And the reason why this is really important is not only to conserve the moisture, but if it gets cold, your mulch will protect the roots. But also, if it gets hot, which it frequently does here in the wintertime, the mulch will also keep the roots cooler. So in the heat, in the cold, for water retention, mulch is definitely the way to go. Here I'm using some shredded straw, but you can also use shredded leaves, pine needles, anything that you can spread over the top of your soil. That adds that organic matter. I could probably even add a little bit more just to really protect the roots. Now for you northern gardeners who might be getting some frosts or even heavy freezes, mulch will definitely protect the roots of your plants. So the colder you get, the deeper your mulch should be. What I want you to do right now, especially for you southern gardeners, is get your winter salad greens planted. Who's in on this? Let me know in the comments below. Now for you northern gardeners who might not be able to grow outdoors all winter, you can still definitely grow your salad greens indoors. Growing your own food is a super important skill to know right now, especially with the cost of food growing up. Anyone can grow your own greens. Head over to CallieKimGardenandHome.com, grab a specialty green seed collection, and don't forget they're 20% off with the code GROWFOOD, and also you'll get a free Callie Kim 1-gallon container with your purchase. Thanks so much for watching. I will be looking for your responses, and we'll see you on the next video.